That's true.
He's kind of in keeping with that.
We're going meta here, okay?
Doing 8 at 8. I kind of like that. So, never mind. This 1 8 o'clock.
8 at 8 on the 8th.
No. Yeah.
All right, I gotta get off the call now.
Oh, damn. I have to leave.
This changes everything.
I have to leave that in now. It's very frustrating. Hi, welcome to Binge Buddies. Me, your host, Binge Buddies, Toretto's shitty tuna sandwich. Me, your host, is always Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, I have to go back to it. Matt, Zombie Dog, Sion, TC, Dykes.
Could you bench a Sion?
We'll get with the good people down at Sion. Everyone should get that reference who's listening to this show, because obviously they've been listening forever, so they know we're talking about that show. I'm not going to name it because everyone should knows what we're talking about, right?
Is it Adventure Time?
Oh my god. The two co-hosts in the show, I guarantee, have not seen. Well, I can't guarantee Ryan hasn't. Ryan's seen most things. I can guarantee Joel hasn't seen it.
Am I gonna get a clue?
Yeah, it's the clue is it's Frisky Dingo. That's the clue in the name of the show.
Perfect.
Clues would do nothing for that. Ryan, have you seen it?
I have.
Yeah, okay. I was like Ryan sees most things. That one was the but Joel, I figured, did not watch that one. Joel?
I think I've seen an episode on Cartoon Network back when Cartoon Network was a thing.
Fair enough. So that's Joel Fullard Mustang DeWitte. Tell him going scraping the bottom of the barrel on the car names here.
I don't understand people who want to dump a lot of money into a car.
No.
Like that,
Granted, I feel like you should understand it more now, being the eighth movie in this franchise.
Yes, I can I can appreciate how somebody that might be like their thing. They're weird adults. I'm gonna throw myself completely into this thing. But for me, a car is just a tool.
Yeah.
Like my red line is I don't want a minivan, but otherwise, yeah, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I'm driving like the dad equivalent of a minivan. It's like one of those like not an SUV things, just kind of looks like a real fat car. Yeah, that's my car. I love it.
Yeah.
When are you driving a box on wheels when I was over in LA?
I missed that car. That car had to go though. I loved my box on wheels. Nissan Cubes forever. Anyhow, we also have Ryan. Let's go with Ryan. I'm gonna go real obvious this week because we're doing Fast 8. We have Ryan Dodge Viper Lootens.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about all the fanfare of Dodge Viper really.
I want to go fast.
I want to go fast and pay way too much for the privilege.
The thing I remember about Dodge Vipers is in GTA 3. And there was like the first fast car that you could get was basically the Dodge Viper, because it was just in the showroom on the first island.
It was
and
called the Banshee back then.
It was the Banshee, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what showroom to go to. You go over, you hit it with a baseball bat. People start screaming at you in the car before the cops show up. Oh yeah. Yeah. No
and then you drive it for like 2 minutes and you've smashed into something because it's GTA 3.
It's faster than a rocket and lighter than a feather, and you're just all over the place. Yeah.
Yep.
Solid game making back then.
It's okay. If I remember right, the way you fix your beaten up car is going into a paint shop. You need a new coat of paint.
Yeah,
the best.
You can pull in with your car on fire, and they're like, "We got you, bud. Don't worry about it."
Just the chassis.
Yeah.
The best one of that, I think,
your
it was
frame
in Vice City.
Shit. It's fine.
I think it was in Vice City where I'd like there was no bonnet, there was the doors were off, there was like everything was like smoke coming out of it, and I drove in and there was like some sort of weird lag on the door actually closing on the garage, so you could see the garage door, and then all of a sudden you just saw the car heel before the door had actually closed and changed color.
Do you think if you dragged in a dead prostitute into one of those places, they'd come out alive?
I never tried that, but I do have the wonderful Switch version of those games, which are just they play so well, smooth like butter.
Sometimes I wonder what goes through your mind, Joel.
I've got a heavy filter.
And let's be fair here.
Noted.
In a game where everyone just murders prostitutes, Joel's thinking about how to save prostitutes. So, his
In a
heart's in the right
garage.
place.
I do like as well in that game. It's like when you have sex with a prostitute, you get more health as opposed to some sort of disease.
You get more health, but you're going to die in 10 minutes.
We're taking the most generous takes of everything this morning.
Yeah, we really are.
You know what sucks?
That's great going into Fast 8 because it needs it.
I gotta say something. We didn't go full circle in Furious 7. Did we talk about the shitty tuna sandwich?
Oh, we
Because
didn't.
They talked about the shitty tuna
I know,
sandwich.
we totally forgot.
Totally.
Yeah, I
Totally
literally
forgot.
had a note in my document as well. It's like the shitty tuna sandwich, the namesake of our show.
Yeah, and then we totally forgot to mention it in the episode.
Yeah.
Go us, 4-star
Winning.
rating all around. We're doing great. Anyhow, let's talk about movie 8. I feel like we're all kind of avoiding it, remember, this is the movie that when F. Gary Gray or Gray Gary, I always get his names mixed up, took over, Vin Diesel promised the world this was going to win Best Picture. Best Picture. This one.
What?
That was his promise.
That was a hot take.
It was a guarantee. This one's coming for that Oscar.
Was he on something?
Pipe dreams, man.
Grief.
Yeah, like
That's up there with when friggin' whichever one it was, one of the Canon people who was saying that they were going to get an Academy Award for the film Sahara with Brooke Shields in.
Nope, it's not going to happen. And lo and behold, Fate of the Furious also did not win any Academy Awards. So, for those keeping score, Suicide Squad 1, Fate of the Furious 0. Earlier yesterday, I opened up my HBO Max thing and it said Academy Award winners. The first one listed was Suicide Squad. I'm like, oh, someone's just being a fucking asshole. This is great.
Which Suicide Squad though?
It's the
Suicide
David
Squad
Ayer
One
one.
that actually won Best Makeup.
Yeah, won Best Makeup.
Oh, did it? Oh,
Yeah.
my-
It actually
Yeah,
deserved it. I did get to walk on set. It earned that award, but
Yeah.
nothing else. But whatever.
Crocodile. Killer Croc.
I mean, I don't know. The Ayer cut's apparently coming now, so maybe it will be as amazing as it was claimed.
I mean, we'll see. I don't believe it's coming, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyhow, where are we at? Fate of the Furious. We're still talking about this piece of shit. I mean, this great movie.
Well,
It's
I
not a
actually,
piece of
I
shit.
actually wrote initial thoughts down for this one because there was something that I was thinking that I had to make sure I remembered to say. And
Okay.
basically, a lot of the driving action scenes in this film feel so fucking slow. And I'm not just talking about
Oh, yeah.
the slow motion. It just doesn't feel fast.
No.
Like the wide shots where you're supposedly going up full speed. I'm looking at going, they don't really feel like they're moving that fast. It feels like, it doesn't feel like the kind of action scenes that we're used to in these films where it's
Well,
really fast, high out to him. It's just very kind of slow.
My guess is that because this is one of the first that's really starting to go more CGI than practical. These films have really leaned into practical effects. This one less so. I mean, I can't guarantee that, but just by watching it with my my own powers of deduction, I'm like, this just looks more CG. But this is also the first one where now this is a very, very obvious question for any of these movies, but I've never found myself asking it until this one. Where are they going? Like, they're just driving, and I have no clue where they're going most of the movie. Like, in that huge action sequence at the end on the ice, which is, fun and stupid. Where the fuck are they going? Because they're just driving that way, and they're just going
driving away from the
that way.
submarine.
Yeah, but they're just going. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Anyhow, my initial takes on this thing. I remember going to see this thing at theaters. I remember inviting a friend of mine, like, hey, I have an extra ticket. You want to come with? And they were really excited. I remember that. I remember halfway through the movie, some dude in the front row jumped up and threw his backpack down, and we're all like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening? And like getting all nervous. And then he just started dancing in the front of the theater.
That's when you know.
Seeing movies in LA can be wild, guys. And then I remember just walking out going, this is the first Fast and the Furious movie since the second one that I'm leaving going, I don't think that was a good movie. Like, I remember just that this was the first in a very long time going, it's not even like the Fast and Furious level bad that I like. Like, this is just not as good. And the time I wasn't really able to put my finger on it. Now I have much more theories, which we'll get into as we talk throughout today. But Matt, you kind of gave your hot take a little bit. Do you have something else you want to jump in with?
I just think like we don't go to these films for realism. Like if you do, you're an idiot. But just some of the decisions that were made in this, like even when you're suspending disbelief to an insane level, like for example, what kind of maximum security prison can be completely disabled by tasering one bit of console? Like
the worst
that's
one ever.
A fucking flaw. That's a huge fucking flaw. Like they're supposedly the most secure maximum security prison in the world because that's where they put Shaw, and it's like, well, we got to make sure he's like, and they disable it with a taser.
It's the Death Star, man.
Oh my god, it's just, and like, I get where they're going with Shaw in like, you know, the idea that like, you know, he's sort of like, he started out as this soldier who got basically burned the same way Hobbs does, but like, are we really going to turn and say, oh yeah, he's all friends now? Like, he killed a bunch of people he killed Han.
In a hospital.
He killed a bunch of random people in a hospital as well. And
basically
like,
killed an entire hospital.
Yeah. And it's like all of a sudden, because he's had a little heart-to-heart with Hobbs, now we like him. Same with his brother as well. Like his brother killed a bunch of fucking people, and now we like them because reasons. Like
family.
I mean, the whole stuff in like Havana as well. Like, I knew there was something. I don't know if they intended it this way, but it came off as really bad taste. Like Dom sort of saying that he learned this move from the Buster, and it was the car setting on fire. Didn't Paul Walker die in a burning car? That is the first thing I thought when I saw that. It's like when it burst into flames, I was like, really?
Too soon.
If I'm being generous, Brian's character does wreck a lot of cars.
No, it's the backwards driving thing. It's because doesn't he pull over the finish line backwards one point?
Yeah, he does that as well.
The plane turned in his face.
Stupid as well.
Yeah, but I think that's what it is. I don't think it was that I learned this from Paul Walker. I'm on fire. I don't think the movies take after we just had like one of the most heartfelt send-offs in a movie ever. I don't think the next movie like dead guy. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
That's where my brain went to immediately though, where it's like, you know, because like she even said it's gonna blow the car up, and it's like, yeah, I learned it from the Buster, and it's like,
it's the backwards driving. It's got to be the backwards driving, not the exploding car.
But then why would he say it so soon? I don't know. I'm kind of with Matt on this.
There's no way. There's just no way. All right. Well, that was we've had both two very long of hot takes. But let's let Joel and Ryan say something.
I'll go quick. You know, when I watched this movie the first time, I'm like, okay, this is just typical thing. But then doing my reassessment, and I know when I told Brian my initial like ranking of this movie, he's like 8's too high, and he was right. You know, this is when I can, you know, give him a little bit of credit.
Justice for 4.
No. Still a shitty movie and probably my dead last movie.
No, it doesn't have shitty lines like Dominic Toretto just went rogue.
Oh, there's that.
Cherokee drum. That's all I have to say.
No, this was, I mean, you could definitely tell like there's missing elements. It was one that they tried to, what they tried to do is overcompensate with Paul Walker being gone and tried to make it as in your face as humanly possible, which took away from the film, whether it's the, you know, the special effects being overabundant. And watching it again, it just felt really off. You know, I was kind of in the mood when I originally watched it. I was in the Fast and Furious because, like I told you guys, I binge watch other movies before I see the next one when they hit the theater, and I just was in kind of that euphoria. But watching it again, I'm like, yeah, this movie is not the best. It's still decent, but not the best.
Bill, what about you?
This movie was just a bid therapy session for Vin Diesel. I mean, you watched through this entire experience, and I'll agree with Ryan. Like when you're watching it, you sort of play dumb brain and go like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and experience it. But you take a few minutes, and it's like this whole movie is everybody telling the character of Dom how important you are and how central to the team you are, and we can't lose you. See, you're important. You're front and center. We have to get you back. You're important. And it feels a little bit too like there's some real life in this because Vin Diesel's character also is the most muted and gravelly he's ever been in this series so far.
He has one line he yells, doesn't he? Like before Elena gets killed.
Spoilers.
We're talking about the movie.
for a character who's so central to the motivations of the movie, she's also one of the least meaningful characters.
Oh, she is such a red shirt.
Besides that, the connecting dots of we've got Elena and also this young child that you didn't know that she had. Like it's such a quick thing to just throw in your face, and such a weird motivation to give his character, right? Because like you can suspend disbelief that she had a child and he didn't know about it because he's going everywhere around the world, not considering like what he's done before that. But it's just so quick, and it gives you kind of whiplash, and it just doesn't feel like a Fast and Furious movie plot device.
No. And they do,
and he ends up naming the kid the missing character to fill that void.
Yeah.
Look, we have a Bryan. Our formula's still good.
I mean, that kid's pretty fucking old. I'm pretty sure it's got a name at this point.
Yeah, no, she just calls him baby.
Yeah.
We'll run into your dad at some point when we're in our very nice apartment style jail cell on a plane.
Plot device.
That should be the child's name, plot device.
I mean, I'll give you this much. The kid is fun in 10. You have to get to 10 to where he becomes fun, but he is really fun in 10. He's also a fucking murderer in 10, but you know, they're bad guys.
How old could he be?
He's like 10 years old in that. Like he shouldn't be, but he is. Like he's old. Don't worry about time here.
We're gonna say like, well, the time
really don't worry about time, because by the time they got together in what, 6th, she was full-term pregnancy and popped this kid out with him not knowing. Time does not matter in Fast and Furious.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, you know, she must have been pregnant in 6 at some point, and then we saw
when
in
they broke
7,
up.
there was nothing
she survived
showing.
an explosion.
Yeah,
she fell off a building.
When did she have this child, which looks like it's about 3 years old?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Because she does. I will say that I agree with Joel. Joel's 100% right. But anyhow, but no, we did have a conversation about this back when we did 6, and we're like, there's no way she knew when she let him go. Like they're together.
Yes,
like, and she admits in this movie, I did know. I just like you had just found out Letty was alive, and I just found this out, so I just let you go. And it's like, okay. Aren't you the coolest woman ever for some stupid reason? He's a dad. Like, even if you're okay with him being with her, you should probably fuck it, whatever. All right,
that might be a moment where it's like, yeah, this movie's probably made and written predominantly by men.
Yeah,
because for some men, that's probably like the perfect drama moment of, I got this woman pregnant, but I didn't know. But all of a sudden, the baby appeared, and I love him immediately, and now I must protect her.
Well, protect the baby, not her. She eats it pretty quick.
That was another whiplash moment. That came out of nowhere too.
Oh yeah. Tormund Giantsbane, man. Don't fuck with him. Don't fuck with the wildlings, is all I'm gonna say.
I love it.
All right, let's start diving into this thing in proper, if you will.
I thought we were already.
I mean, we've been all over the fucking place. So that's where I'm like, let's see if we can try to do this in some resemblance of order. I don't really know how much to really even try to do that with this. So I guess if we're going to try to maybe approach the beginning of this, we should probably start with the movie does, which is with Cypher. We get supposedly she was pitched as the series big bad. Like, this is it. This is, we've been escalating each movie. We went from one Shaw brother, the next Shaw brother, to
the person that was running them.
And it's Cypher, I guess.
But she wasn't running them as well. That's the thing, that even the film's trying to say that she was running them, and then like completely flips it and goes, oh no, she wasn't, because that's why her and Shaw don't like each other or something.
Yeah.
The film doesn't even know what the hell it's doing with this character.
No, the film, it feels like one of those things where they're so excited to get something like Charlize Theron that like, oh my God, yeah, no, we have you're the bad guy. Oh, what's my motivation?
You don't like Dom.
Oh,
why not?
Cars go too fast, and you have a problem with that. It's like,
you want very good speed restrictions on you don't like speeding. Well, so what? It's a political thing. I'm going after Germany because they have autobahns. No,
you want power, just max power, and that's really the most we get from this villain. Like, she's kind of a mess. And that's before we even started making this thing, I started saying anything negative about Charlize Theron. I don't remember who jumped down my throat like, don't you dare say anything bad. I'm like, I'm just saying she's underused. And I, after watching this movie now again, and I've seen 9 and 10, and she does get better as the franchise goes. This movie is still just, I think it was you.
I think, and this is what I'll say. In watching it again, she chews the scenery, but I don't think she's very well written. She does the best that she can with this character, and just her best moments are the look she gives, and that's all Charlize. When she's trying to say things, it doesn't work. But and watching, I realized my mistake. She was a good villain when I first watched it, but watching it again, I'm like, this is a horrible script, but she's making the most of it.
Oh yeah,
she's rolling the turd in glitter.
Right.
Yeah, but they just don't give her anything to do as the villain. Like they like I said, they figured out more in 9 and 10. And 10, she's starting to get her barbecue card at a certain point.
Her best moment though is this first interaction with Dom. Like, she feels like someone you don't fuck with.
Absolutely. And well, I mean, but it does have for me, it's her best moment, but it was also where I went, with the movie. When she starts just walking around do you have any idea how much work it took to get you in this corner? I had to do this. I had to do this. I had to do this. And it just sounds, you just
didn't really see it. Don't know it.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that. And that sounds incredibly convoluted. What are we getting out of you just listing off things you had to do today? It just did not work. It was a big red flag for me for the rest of this movie. That was, unfortunately, it was a very, good call out, because the rest of the movie has these problems too. You go to the big push of this movie, jumping quite a few steps ahead, was that it goes to New York. That was their whole thing. Part 7, we're back to LA. This time we're doing Fast and Furious in New York.
And throwing cars.
Yeah, and maybe we should just talk about that. The zombie car sequence I actually really do like.
I like it, but there is no fucking way that whatever year this came out, there was that many cars that had self-driving in them in that one area.
No. It's New York, dude. They're all rich.
They're really not.
Nobody drives in New York. Nobody drives in New York.
But the people who do are the people that can afford it.
That's also fair.
But there's not that many people who can afford it. Shouldn't be that many cars.
I mean, there's more cars than parking spaces in New York. So
exactly.
there is some, I don't know. The shot of them getting thrown out of the building, especially when you do have some of the actual practical shots where they just strapped a camera to a car and pushed it off a building.
That looked cool.
That stuff was pretty cool.
The CG stuff, less so.
But also not bad. I didn't mind the CG there. It was so cartoony, but the entire gimmick was so cartoony that it sort of worked.
When all those cars come around the corner, though, every time I rewound it a couple of times, I was thinking there's something, it looks weird to me. And I was like, oh, it just looks like water coming around the corner, because they're all coming out and it's almost flowing around. And it's that doesn't feel like what a car would do. And that's the problem with the CG element. It doesn't feel like that's how cars would come around the corner.
For me, it's less of a problem with how the cars are coming around the corner, and more so you lost the weight of them. Like that should be like
Yeah.
a really heavy wave, and you don't really feel that weight. It's kind of like it almost reminds me of like the zombies from like World War Z. Like it's just kind of like a wall of people falling at you. This is just a wall of cars, which should be
Yeah.
far more horrifying. This one just kind of feels like, oh, just get out of the way, you'll be fine. It's like, no, you wouldn't. That's 1,000 cars being dropped on you. That's
Yeah. Each one of them's on average a ton or something. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, I agree with you to a point, because like that's true. Like that should look more dangerous than it does.
I mean, realistically, that would be a bigger sort of like attack than 9/11. Just all those cars coming out, like the damage that would have happened with all of those cars
and
coming out.
That's never really comes back. Ryan, am I wrong? Do they ever mention that the zombie cars like ever again?
No.
Like that one should.
I've only seen 9. I've only seen 8 and 9 once. So.
Okay.
But I think that's the problem you get with these kind of films. When you start going as big as you do, you have to keep making it bigger. And as you are getting bigger with each film, there's this sort of like Marvel's a huge thing for this. Like, you know, we still talk about 9/11 today. I think I've mentioned this a while already in this series, but these 20 odd years later, essentially what you're getting then with like, you know, Marvel films and anything where you get these bigger and bigger, you're essentially having a 9/11 every week. And it's like, no one really talks about it that much anymore. It doesn't really seem to affect the world in any way. Like, but it's a serious, massive event that you just kind of like,
Yeah, and that's this movie all over. Like, and granted, no, they fixed that in 10. 10 has a moment like this too, and it becomes like the main plot of the whole movie. Like, how could this happen? So like this, maybe 10's a better movie than 8. Spoilers.
I mean, at the moment, 8 is really low down on my list, to be fair.
Yeah,
it's not the bottom, but it's close.
What's the bottom for you? And
4.
Is it 4
4
for?
I bet it's 1.
It is. Joel hit the nail right on the head there.
If it's not 4, I know he liked 2. Fuck.
All right, can we get to Berlin? Because I love Berlin. The EMP device. When they steal the EMP device and they use the
sure.
ball,
Yeah.
That's some practicality right there.
You're right. That sequence is. We're going backwards a little bit to when Dom like breaks away from the team. I love the idea of the sequence, but it just did not. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. It's the first time the crew started to annoy me a little bit. Like I don't know how else to describe it. Just the banter just felt.
The roles.
Yeah, like it just
They're leaning hard. Like Taj, do your thing.
Yeah, like that stuff. It didn't feel as organic as it did in the past. Like this one just kind of felt like a victory lap that like, wait, the movie just started. Like what's going on here?
I love the sequence, but how do you sit there and put a device that's going to launch a wrecking ball at people when you have time to do that, where, you know, the base that's like right down the road isn't going to notice something up? That was my
put a winking face on it.
Right.
I like that. I did like that.
I enjoyed the sequence, the practicality. I'm like, this is stupid. Like there's no way they could ever prep this without the people down in this base that they're about to steal the CMP. We're like, what are they doing with the spray cans over across the way at the construction yard?
But I do agree, it is a fun sequence with the wrecking ball rolling around like that. That's pretty great. But then like the Dom like betraying them, even that wasn't that bad. It just, I think like we haven't really talked much about it yet at all, but the Dom switching sides to work with Cypher, even with the motivation of like putting his ex-girlfriend in a fridge, very much in a fridge, and having his baby on board
in a nice crib.
Yeah, in a very nice crib. Even with that, him changing sides from the trailers when they first announced it in the movie has never worked for me. It never feels right. Like even like the smooch she gives at one point to try to like throw Letty off, like all of it just like it feels so
forced.
Yeah, it's just like, you ever watch those pitch meeting things on Screen Rant? Like the guy goes, "So the movie can happen." Like that's 100% of him switching sides. It's just so the movie can happen. It's like, if they'd picked a different one, it would have made more sense to me. Like this had been like, it wouldn't have been funny, or it wouldn't have worked. But if it'd been Tyrese or Tej, or if they'd still had Paul Walker in the movie, like somebody else switching sides, I think it would have worked a little bit better. But I get the whole like the only person who can beat the crew is the guy who put the crew together. Like I can see the writer's room on this, but it doesn't make it work.
I mean, it's literally the definition of "cause reasons."
Yeah,
like that's this film in a nutshell. It's like this happens. Why? Cause reasons. Cause Because we want the film to happen.
And there are good things that come out of it. Like it gives The Rock more time to shine, which is great because The Rock is still very entertaining in these movies.
They use him to fill the Dom void, and it's a square peg in a round hole. It doesn't work.
He's not Dom, but I mean, I do like his sequence. Like, I agree with them so much so that we're adding the movie to our show now that Dom and Jason Statham had great chemistry together. Those scenes were a lot of fun.
So
The Rock
I want to go with
The Rock. Yeah. Someone made me wake up early to record podcast today. I'm not going to be 100% on my game.
You're doing great, Brian. You're doing real good. I'm proud of you.
Brian, remember that time when I got up at 4 a.m. to record a podcast?
I'm not you. Establish this.
Brian, I want to address, even with it felt very forced, and even with what you're saying about how it just doesn't work, even the end reveal where Dom had all this shit planned out in his brain, it showed, like, even that felt forced.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I'm just like, because at the very end there's this giant reveal of all the things that Dom did to make sure that he was working for the good guys. It just, everything, it didn't feel fluid, and that's what 5, 6, and 7 had was fluidity, especially with the story. This is just like, okay, we're gonna ram this down your throat because we're overcompensating.
Yeah.
So it feels like they had a good idea, and then it was like they had this idea, and then it's like, well,
they had the idea.
Yeah, let's build a film around it, but we don't really know how we're going to do that. So let's just keep
it an idea and then build from there.
Yeah, let's throw a lot of shit and just see what sticks. And like they just threw a load of shit at Velcro and everything stuck, and it just makes no sense.
And it's still an idea because that's what this movie was.
It betrays the character because if you looked at the character logically, she shows him pictures of his baby. He's going straight to the family to try to let them know. Like, even if you have him like forced having to separate, you would then see him trying to leave little breadcrumbs along the way of, look, this doesn't pass the sniff test. I'm giving you a sign that there is something off. And I don't think they did a good job of establishing that through most of the movie. Because at some point, Letty just basically goes, I don't believe it. He hasn't betrayed us. And it's like, well, what clue do you have? Maybe that, like, face smashed against other face kiss that doesn't look quite natural. But like, I could have stood to use a little bit more of a trail to have him try to express to them that, look, like, I'm not having a choice in this.
I think it just comes down to direction at that point, because like that's Gary Gray going, oh, the audience knows that he doesn't want to be on Cypher's side, so we don't need to show anything else because the audience knows he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So
that crossed my mind a little bit, and I can understand where they would have that lodged in the head of course, the lead isn't going to be that. I would have appreciated from his character standpoint,
yes,
him trying to more forwardly show, less about like, oh, our audience is dumb and they won't connect the dots, and more of they don't show him really trying to express like, I have no choice, other than there might be like one moment where he gives this long sad look at somebody before.
That's the thing, like the clue that the audience gets that he doesn't want to do this is just him sitting there and grimacing. But the problem is you've got Vin Diesel doing that, who just that's his standard sort of setting, is just sitting and grimacing. So
and like I think this is a screenwriting problem. I just think that the screenwriters were trying to fill the void of Paul Walker, that they tried to just do too much. And you said direction, F. Gary Gray, or Gray Gary, whatever we want to call him. No, F. Gary Gray. He just got off of Straight Outta Compton, and that was a brilliant movie. Like, it was such a good movie. And I think that he was writing that way. I'm like, all right, let's give him Fate of the Furious. He's a hot director right now. And even him, he couldn't take the screenplay and make it work. I mean, the direction is is what it is. It's still an okay directed film. I think this just goes to show like it's the screenwriting problem in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of feels like one of those films where, where you read about like, oh, they were still writing the script when we were shooting. And it kind of feels like that. Like, I don't know. I've not looked into the behind the scenes, but it does kind of feel like they had this idea and then, the script had problems, but they had to start shooting. So that's like, just kind of write on the fly. And that's why you end up with like, oh, now we're going to this place. Oh, now we're going to this place. And it's like, it does feel a bit like that as well. Like they're trying to do that sort of James Bond world hopping.
Yep. And like the letters and like the sea and like all that stuff. Trying to be cool and hip.
We're big international sort of super spies now, but it just kind of feels like, okay, we're going from this place, now we're going to go to this place, now we're going to go to this place. You don't really feel earned, I suppose. No. Like that's the sort of like the thing that pulls me down on it. It's kind of like, like you said, we're taking it to New York, but we're only going to be there for like 20 minutes or something, because then we're going to go somewhere else, and then we're going to go somewhere else after that as well. Now, then we're going to go on the ice, and there's going to be a submarine, which somehow manages to, like, turning the engine on when it's suspended in the ground, manages to get it to move off of the little thing that it's on. And it's like,
and see, that's a
submarine, not a jet. It's
that's a perfect example, Matt, because I think Morgan, is it Chris Morgan? Yeah, Chris Morgan. Yeah. He's written what, the last 5 movies, and the fact that he's missing a star, he's doing exactly like what Matt said. Let's do all these extravagant set pieces and have the team be there, that they just won't focus that a team member is missing.
Well, they do try to fill in that team member too. They throw in what's his name? Scott Eastwood.
Oh yeah,
little nobody.
Yeah, little nobody. Like they throw him in, like, and like it's such an obvious, like, we don't have Paul Walker, let's slide in this random white guy,
blonde-haired guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they even have him driving a similar car to Paul Walker. I'm sure he had a Skyline. It's a bit like,
it's a little.
Not Paul Walker.
You're not Paul Walker. Like
the character's stupid. I'm sorry. Like this guy's who nobody is grooming to be the next, like, to take over from him, essentially. He's fucking incompetent. He has what did he just pluck him from the street? Like, this person has never gone through any kind of formal training in like military or anything like that. He's a fucking idiot.
I mean, neither has the crew, and they do just fine.
Well, the crew, they're street racers. I'm sure there's a line. I'm sure there's a line in there somewhere about, these are street racers though, or something. Like,
they usually throw it in at some point, but
he's just a punching bag. That's all his purpose really is to be the lowest on the totem pole and be the target of everybody's ire or annoyance. I mean, even Mr. Nobody is kind of like berating him most of the time when he tries to do his job and doesn't understand, like,
rule number 1,
your boundaries.
Yeah.
The first time we meet him, The Rock is picking him up and slamming him horizontally against a wall.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So. And he earned that too.
Yeah.
But neither here nor there. I don't think the character idea, I don't blame Scott Eastwood, although he's never been that great of an actor. Like, just the idea of trying to slide someone into that spot was not a great idea. And it felt almost like the movie was rejecting the idea. Like, I get, like, there's, the screenplay was there, but it did kind of feel like, we're going to put someone in this role and we're going to hate him for it. It's like, all right, good luck, dude.
This, God, what's it? Hobbs going to prison allows us to get a glimpse of Hobbs and Shaw, especially with the riot. Yeah. That gets taken care of by a stun gun. Thanks for pointing that out, Matt.
So stupid.
That was a very cool one of the, we didn't get a whole lot of fist fights in the movie. This was probably the only fist fight. I mean, we have the gunfight in the plane, but this fist fight was very well choreographed. Probably,
there's a bit of a fist fight with Letty and, like, what I call Russian mustache dude, who, like, the guy is always in action films, usually playing some sort of mercenary, and he's got like this twirly mustache thing.
Okay.
There's like a bit of a hand-to-hand thing with that, but it's more grapply than like an actual fist fight.
Yeah. But like with this fight though, it ends perfectly. Like, it ends right when they're getting to each other, dukes up, and then Mr. Nobody, all right, Cool. Took you long enough. That was perfect. Perfect,
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, and it's one of those, like I kind of mentioned earlier, I can see why after, even when you're sitting in the theater the first time this comes out, it's like, oh, these two are really good together. And like they're funny, they bounce off each other. That entire action sequence of like Jason Statham punching his way out and the Rock trying to catch up with him, it's just fun. Like it's dumb fun, but it's fun. Like the idea that the Rock can pick up 3 dudes and throw them through a door, it's like, come on, like I know he's big, but he's not that big. But it's still fun to like. I'm here for it. I'm having a good time.
It reminds me of like Commando, like the
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger film where it's like he picks up that guy literally by one arm and holds him over the cliff, and he's like, "This is where we come."
Remember when I told you I was going to kill you last?
That's right, Matrix. You did.
I lied.
God, I haven't seen that
Oh,
movie in a
I
very
love
long
that
time.
film.
Why did they make Commando 2 so we could binge buddy it? Damn it.
There was a script floating around for Commando 2, and it was Die
Turned
Hard.
into Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan.
I've seen that one.
There is you can actually find the script for Commando 2 online, and it is essentially just Die Hard. It's in a building and all that stuff. Yeah.
I'm good. All right, we should start trying to move it in the end of this thing a little bit. So we had in New York, we kind of, since we're all over the place, Deckard got fake killed. He kind of jumped over that.
Which, when you know that Hobbs and Shaw's coming out, it's like when he shoots him, it's like, so there's something going on here then that's not real, because he didn't actually just kill him.
At the time, we didn't know that. So this did, like, I didn't know. I'm like, oh, wow, they killed him off. I mean, I guess it was kind of pointless having him as a good guy anyway. So I did have a moment of like, oh, okay. But when he comes back, it was so worth it. Like,
oh yeah,
the plane sequence of him saving the baby is one of my favorite sequences.
Yes.
Yeah, I do actually like that sequence. I have to admit.
Before we get there, we have to talk about Dame Helen Mirren.
I mean, I guess she's in the other movies more, and she's better. Like
She is.
kind of pointless in this.
She's a plot device.
Yeah,
We should just call this movie The Fate of the Plot Device.
yeah. It's cool that she's here and she pops up, but I got nothing to say about her because she's.
Meet Owen Shaw and Deckard mom. We're going to show her real quick. She's kind of the reason why we get to the end. That's it. See you,
Yeah,
bye.
I mean that's it.
I still would.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say on that for this film. Anyway.
She's Helen Mirren. Right?
Yeah,
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, like, that's
exactly.
facts are facts.
Moving on.
The plane sequence is great. My only problem with it is, as much as I've really grown to enjoy Deckard, Owen, I don't really give a shit about. Like, he's here. Oh, okay. I guess, yeah. The guy from 6 is back. Do I care?
Who was in a coma? Even at the beginning of this film, he was still in a coma. And now he's okay. Like his muscles haven't atrophied, and he's ready to like assault a fucking plane on those whatever those wingsuits are.
Yeah, like I don't know. He just doesn't do much for me. Like, just the actor, the character, like he's just not my favorite of the Shaws. I'd much rather talk about Helen Mirren, or I'd like to, obviously Deckard is he's the show. But he also is the show in this. Like,
my favorite is when they show Owen. They have like a little bit of like makeup here to like, oh yeah, he did get fucked up. Like, let's not forget
just
that
a little bit.
He got thrown out of a plane and he's walking now. It's fine.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
What?
Halloween 4. The little burn thing that they put on Loomis's cheek.
Yeah.
And on his hand.
Ooh, that one stung a little. Just a little. All right.
But even in the plane, like, it's all Jason Statham. Like, you don't see Owen at all. You just see Deckard kicking some major ass, and it's awesome.
It's
like,
great.
Even when he's talking to the kid and he kills the guy and he smells something, he goes, "Is that you or him?" Like, and he goes, "Definitely him."
That was a good line.
All of that sequence is good. It's just a good, fun, crazy sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And then every now and then they cut to Owen, who's just standing in the cockpit, just like shooting, pointing his gun at the pilot. Thanks for helping, Owen. Keep doing you. I guess it is fair. He did fall out of a plane. He's not as agile as his brother.
Probably also not a big fan of planes
PTSD. Yep.
All right, let's start talking about the sub of it all. The final action sequence in this.
I literally have a note. The sub stuff is stupid.
It does.
What a good way to start.
I don't disagree with him. Like, really enjoy the Fast and Furious set pieces. I think they can all be fun. In the next one, the dumbest one ever happens, and I'm still here for it because Justin Lin's a much better filmmaker when it comes to Fast and Furious movies, and he knows how to make that shit work. But this is probably my least favorite one. I do not like the sub stuff. It just all of it. From what I mentioned at the very beginning of this episode, I don't know where the fuck they're going. I get they're running away, on just driving over the frozen ocean for however long that takes.
I mean, where were they as well? Because they were driving fucking fast.
Yeah, real fast the whole time. The sub
So
shoots a torpedo at them that goes through the ice and then just skates across the ice. Well, like, what the fuck is happening in this?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's also a heat-seeking missile. Like, no, they would never have a heat-seeking missile out of a submarine.
No.
You're underwater. There's no heat.
Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for words. Like the sequence is just it's just too much for me.
I mean, literally, one of my notes. Somebody has been watching Hunt for Red October because they basically do exactly the same thing on there. It's like, oh well, they fired the missile from there. Their own missile destroys the sub, though. Ha 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 ha.
The EMP comes into play because that's how they steal the sub. But when they're doing the revelation that Cypher had hired Owen and Jakande and all that other stuff, and then they come in and steal God's Eye, they had no reason to steal God's Eye. None. They were after the sub the whole time. That's why Dom was in New York to get the nuclear launch clothes and his badass gear, which he should have wore later on when he was about to get burned up. But like, it was pointless, and I just. If the nuclear sub's going to be the end game, focus on that. That was my point.
That's the thing, is like the whole stealing the God's Eye thing is just so they could have the bit where Dom is like, yeah, I'm not with you guys no more.
Oh, that was in it.
I feel like that could have been an actual line lifted from this movie.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, literally, it's not a line; it's just screen grab. Do you not notice? I grabbed the audio from the film right then and just dropped it in.
I don't know. Like, I think about the end action sequence, and I really want to like it. Like, I want to enjoy The Rock pushing a torpedo like into another car. Like it's the level of ridiculousness that, like, it's not, in my mind, it's not any more ridiculous than the tank versus the cars in 6. But it worked better there. And I go back
because it was real. Like the tanks versus cars, it's real cars. Like, and it's a real tank. This is a CGI submarine, and I think that's where it kind of loses you.
But also that was supported by a better movie.
Yeah.
I think a better quality movie, you're more willing to suspend disbelief if it's cool.
And you're gonna give them more rope, essentially. You're gonna give them more rope on
those movies were earned. This movie is not earned.
Yeah. Like, I'm never gonna be
earned. I thought you were just saying burn every time.
Burn.
Every time Joel was saying that, like, it was supported by a better movie, I thought you went burn.
That's what I thought he said too at first.
No. It was a better movie, and this movie was not earned. Like, 5, 6, and 7, the payoffs are good because they earned them, because they're good movies. This one was not.
And like 9 isn't perfect by any stretch. Like there's problems in 9, and I mean, not to spoil too much, it's the one where they go to fucking space. Like they go there, but because Justin Lin is a better filmmaker when it comes to these things, like, although it's still ridiculous and for a lot of people it's a bridge too far, and I totally get that, I don't agree. I have fun with that. Like it's as Ryan just said, it's more earned in that movie, but I shouldn't be going, them in space makes more sense to me than them driving away from a submarine, because both sentences are fucking stupid. But when it comes to this, I think it's not necessarily just the earned or not necessarily just the CGI. I think it's just a mix of all of that coming together in 8 and just not working.
Yeah.
And it's kind of unfortunate because at this point, like this is still the second highest grossing out of all of them. It's 7 and then 8. And I get why the fan drop off to 9 happened, because this one just wasn't, it didn't raise the ante enough in a fun way. And it's kind of a bummer because 9 really does come back to, it feels more like 8, or it feels more like 6. If it had gone straight from 6 to 9, I'd be like, oh, this progression makes sense. And then 10, we're kind of more back in 8's camp a little bit. 10 is better than 8. Don't get too worried. But it feels more like in this, like, wait, what are we doing here again?
I'm just sorry. I'm just laughing at the 6 to 9, 69. That's where my head went.
You're a child.
I am a child. If people say doo-doo, I start giggling. Like, you know.
I mean, to be fair, I had a canned coffee at work this week, and I took one swig and the milk had turned, and it was the most horrifying taste I have ever had in my life. And I'm texting my wife because I'm so like nearly throwing up at work. And she's like, oh no, you're gonna get food poisoning again. I'm like, well, no, I didn't swallow. Tee-hee.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I was very proud of myself. That drink will give me nightmares the rest of my life, though. Like the worst tasting thing imaginable. Anything else you want to say about Fast and Furious 8? Is there anything else?
I mean, that kind of like sums up this film very well. The worst tasting thing ever.
We've watched worst movies on Binge Buddies. This is not that bad.
I guess it's not Halloween 6.
I say, like, we watched Halloween 6. We watched, no, all the Phantasms are good.
All the don't you dare insult Phantasm.
Resident Evil 5.
No, I take this over Resident Evil 5. The sub's better in Resident Evil 5.
Resident Evil 5 knows what it is.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's very fair. This one thinks it's making a good movie. Like I said,
picture quality.
The very beginning, this was going to win Best Picture.
Not even is it going to win not shit Fast and Furious film.
Yeah,
like that's an award.
Yeah, not only is it not winning Best Picture, it's not winning Best Fast and Furious movie. Like not even by a mile. I know, inch mile winning is winning, yada yada yada.
I mean, I would really love it if it. I don't really know. I don't follow Razzies or anything like that. But I really hope that it actually won worst film for the Razzies, because that would just be brilliant. It's like, well, you won something to do with films there.
Number one at something. Yeah. Oof. All right. Let's move into quotes and or moments and or both if you had them for this one. I have a feeling there'll be a lot fewer of us with both this week around, but you know. Could happen.
I'll go first just because I said it.
Go for it.
The plane sequence when he's battling everybody and he kills a guy and he goes, is that you or him? Definitely him. So shit himself when he was getting killed. I like it.
It's good. I like it. It's a winner. Do you have a favorite moment too, or just the line?
Favorite moment is the I would say the wrecking ball, just because it was fun. Stupid but fun.
Yeah, that works. I'm kind of back and forth. My quote, because I feel like I like it because it's making fun of the movies a little bit. And it's a Helen Mirren quote when she's like, they're trying to explain the God's eye to her, and she calls it like the devil's bumhole or something like that. I don't remember the exact quote, but I like that she just like, it's just some fucking stupid MacGuffin thing. It's God's eye. Yeah, whatever. Like, I don't remember the exact quote, but I remember that. Like, I like them just being like, it's dumb. It's a dumb thing in a dumb movie. Why do we care?
I mean, I like to believe that there was a proper line written, and Helen Mirren just looked at it and went, I'm not fucking saying that.
I want to say the devil's bumhole.
Yeah. But my favorite moment, I mentioned it too. It's during the zombie car sequence, and it's when we finally get some practical cameras on cars in the zombie car sequence, and it just makes it like, oh, this feels real now, and it makes that sequence the best sequence in the movie.
You do feel like you're in the car.
Yeah.
Those sort of like POV shots, they are pretty good.
Yeah. Joel and Matt.
So my favorite line is it's when nobody's doing the little briefing And he says, well, thanks to your botched Berlin job, you all made Interpol's top 10 most wanted list. And then you get Roman going, top 10?
Yeah.
That's all right. Well, not you, Roman. What do you mean? You just missed the cut. You're 11.
Oh, I love that Roman gets 11. It annoys him though.
The look of disappointment on his face. And like throughout the whole film, he's just bitching about being
11 my
11.
ass.
Yeah. And like later on in the film.
Yeah, when he blows up the
Yeah, and then moment. I'm gonna go with the Shaw, the Shaws on the plane, because it was actually a really cool moment.
Yeah.
Like the cool sequence. It's not really a moment, it's so much more of like a whole sequence, but that's the best you're gonna get out of this thing, to be fair.
All right, Joel.
All right. My favorite moment doesn't necessarily mean quality moment in this movie.
I like where this is going.
But there's a scene where I forget which race or action scene it is, but Dom is cornered by all the rest of the family in their cars. They shoot harpoons into his car from every angle
In New York.
and it's the
God.
standoff, and the team is all going like, oh, that's 2,000, no, 3,000, no, that might even be 4,000. It's this really
it's so stupid.
It's because it's like they're treating their cars like human bodies almost in that way, and the fact that he's able just to like put his foot on the gas and swerve a little and get out, it ties back
flipping
to
a car on top of another one as well. It's
Yep.
like, no.
but it
He's
goes
got
back to
4,000
like,
car in there.
we love you, Dom, don't go, you're important.
Yeah, there's so many stupid things in this film. Like, you didn't even mention the fact that like they block the flames with the cars, and it's like, yeah, those flames are just going over the top of the cars and cooking
Just
him
the
in the
way
middle.
they pull up and stop. It's so cartoony. Just like, we're here. We got you.
I mean, like, number one, like, how they managed to pull up and all of them be touching to make a perfect wall anyway, but also flames can go over things and down. And
They're the best drivers in the world.
Yeah. You know, I that would have been a perfect time to bring back that whatever you want to call it suit that he had in New York to steal the
Yeah.
nuclear football.
Yeah, when he wanted to be the Winter Soldier for all of 10 minutes.
I mean, didn't even last that
Chainsaw.
long because he took off the mask really fucking quickly. It's like, well,
It's hot
shoot him in the
this
head
thing.
now.
Again, so did the Winter Soldier. He just kept taking that mask off all the time. Anyhow, I think we're done with Fate of the Furious. I don't think there's anything else we can really even add into this thing. Talked about it. We didn't love it. That's
This was a
okay.
short recording.
It's not that short. I think we're still close to an hour.
Yeah.
We've
The first 20 minutes we were talking about something else.
That's true. It's going to be a shorter episode, but it's just not as good of a movie. There's not.
It's not.
I
Not
can't
much to
help
talk
that.
about.
Like when we got to 5 and 6, those episodes like an hour 20 because those movies are awesome. And then
Yeah, and there's
this
a lot
one-
to talk about. I mean, like, you know, but with this, it's like, what do you say apart from it's just dumb? This is a dumb film. Stupid film.
like Fast 8 is the Fast and Furious movie that people who don't watch Fast and Furious movies assume they all are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
No,
that's
I'll agree with that. Actually, that's the kind of film that I assume they all were is this film. Just
Yeah.
so stupid. Like, there's nothing earned in it. It's just a bunch of mindless action world. Like, you know, it's literally just Vin Diesel wanting, oh, I'm gonna go here for a holiday.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay for
right?
it.
You mean burn, right? Not earn. I'm sorry, I'm done. I'm going home.
earned.
Earned.
But yeah, I'll have a lot more to say next week with 9, or not next week with Hobbs and Shaw, I assume, and then the week after that with 9.
Well, I feel like, you know, if with Hobbs and Shaw, you'll have something to say because it's the first time you've seen it, right?
That's true. Yeah, I've not seen it.
All right, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Hobbs and Shaw. I kept meaning to see it, and I just haven't. It's got it doesn't have Idris Elba in it.
Yep.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah, I'm into that. He's wearing like the suits from the first G.I. Joe movie, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Kind of what the
Vaguely
trailer looked
remember
like.
seeing like a picture of him in some sort of weird suit, and then I like read that he was like augmented.
Like a
I'm like,
superhero suit.
whatever.
I remember that trailer a lot because he says something like, "I'm Black Superman."
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that like a reference to the Black Santa line from this film? Blanta or whatever he calls it.
Mm,
I was hoping that one was never going to come up. My God. Yeah.
Yeah, that was not a good line.
Yeah, here we
there's
are.
Here we are.
so many stupid lines in it. Like I keep going back to Dominic Toretto just went rogue. It's like that's not a fucking thing.
That's better than you gonna turn your back on family. It's like that's a Rick Moranis line if I've ever heard one. It's Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh, what's the best thing in your life? Family.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's move into plugs.
I'm gonna plug family.
Oh, don't do that.
Why? Do you not like ASMR?
Nope, sure don't. Anyhow, this show and every other show on the ATH Network, be sure to check out athpod.com. Joel, what about you?
Afterthoughts is a book club podcast with my wife Kelly. More to come on that. Super GG Radio is a video game podcast where we talk about pre-release, mostly indie games, and playing our backlog. I got nothing this week. Zelda's done, and I can rest now.
I'm also done with Zelda. I'm Joel and I've been talking. I'm much cooler on it than the majority of our friends, but I did enjoy my time with it.
Yeah.
Ryan, what about you?
You can catch me at the Front Row Network, where I do full disclosures of movies and talk about other things. But my channel on the Front Row is Front Row Flashbacks, where we talk about movies from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Depending on when this gets released, I don't know if this is going to get released in July, but our most current episode should be The Mask of Zorro. So there's that.
Might come out in July. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't do math. And Matt, are you only plugging family, or do you have anything else you actually want to plug this week?
Just family.
Just family. Okay, great. All right, well then that's it. Be sure to tune in next week when we take a break from the mainline franchise and we start talking Hobbs and Shaw. And I'm excited to finally see Hobbs and Shaw. Hopefully it's as good as Ryan says it is. All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.